Vice-ranking member of the House Armed Services Committee, Rob Wittman, says we are well past the time for vague threats and cheap talk. And as you can see, he joins me now. Sir, thank you for being here. I'm curious, what does this mean to you that they would face isolation in the international community? What does that mean? Is that the answer?
Well, Jillian, that's just nebulous talk. It really doesn't mean anything. There needs to be consequences for what China has not done, and that is allow an open, transparent, and independent investigation as to what happened at the Wuhan lab. To this point, they have not allowed any of this. In fact, I would argue the World Health Organization has actually been complicit in helping them keep this undercover, because the World Health Organization just said, oh, by the way, China, you investigate what went on. And China did their own investigation and told the World Health Organization, oh, there's nothing to see here. We need to demand action by China, and there needs to be results if they don't act. And the results should be sanctions against Chinese health officials, against those who have gone after scientists, those that have persecuted scientists and citizen journalists that have tried to lay open exactly what happened at the Wuhan lab. This time of this back and forth talk should be over with. We need strong, decisive action against China if they do not allow an open and independent investigation.
And I know that just last week, you and Elise Stefanik had introduced the World Deserves to Know Act. Can you tell me a little bit about this? And, you know, it just seems like at this point, isn't it shocking that there would be people who aren't wanting to demand answers as to what exactly happened and how this virus was able to affect and kill so many people throughout our country and this world?
Well, exactly, Jillian. After 600,000 deaths in the United States, 3.4 million worldwide, everybody ought to be in favor of making sure that we hold China accountable. I believe we need to sanction their individuals in the Communist Party there for the actions that they didn't take to divulge exactly what happened. We want to make sure we prevent dollars going from U.S. universities and institutions to the Chinese National Health Commission. I want to make sure I know where every penny from the United States went to the National Health Commission in China for this gain-of-function research at the Wuhan lab. We need to know these things, and we need to stop the dollars that could be going now to those efforts and understand where did those dollars go from the United States for this gain-of-function research that I believe possibly led to the escape of this virus.
Well, there are certainly a lot of questions that definitely need answers. We will continue to follow that, as I know you will. Meantime, the vice president begins a new role promoting the president's child tax credits. This as pressure mounts on Biden to replace Kamala Harris as the leading immigration person here in the efforts at the U.S.-Mexico border. I'm just curious, you think, and we'll pull up here on the screen all of her roles at this point in time. I mean, look, a lot of people are arguing that she's, you know, considering the fact that she hasn't gone down to visit the southern border yet, that she's not doing that right. So why keep adding to the list if it seems like a lot of people in this country aren't happy with the job that she's doing in some of these jobs, in some of these roles, excuse me?
Well, Jillian, she hasn't done the things necessary to address the border crisis. In fact, I would argue that she and the president have actually created that crisis by attracting folks here, by offering taxpayer-funded health care, by taking away the other incentives incentives that actually made the system work, and that is the efforts to make sure that we're securing the border, making sure that the other elements of the Trump administration policies, the Remain in Mexico policy, the asylum agreements, they have terminated all of those. Instead, they're going to catch and release. I don't believe that any of that shows that this is a successful effort to address the border crisis. And, you know, if you haven't completed an assignment, why would you be given other assignments? It just seems like to me that she needs to be focusing on the things before her. And this border crisis is only getting worse. Why would you add other things to the list of her efforts instead of saying, no, focus on the border crisis, get that done, show that she can successfully resolve that, which at this point she has not. She hasn't even visited the border. No. That should be job one for her to address this crisis.
She says she's going to. We don't know when she will yet, but we will continue to wait and see. Congressman Rob Wittman, thank you very much for your time. Have a good day.
Thank you.